Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be on F1 2020. As you guys can see, we are going to be starting our first qualifying lap in qualifying 1. As we go through the last corner here, we bring it all the way up into Max Mix actually, open DRS. We're going flying down the straight. We're going up, hitting upwards of 209 miles an hour before we hit hard on the brakes at the 100-meter board. Bring it down and chop off that curb. I took a little bit more curb on the inside than I would have hoped. As we open DRS, getting back up to above 200 miles an hour before braking super hard and carrying as much speed as you can, trying to bring it out super wide. As we go through, carrying the utmost speed as we possibly can as we go for a hard braking down zone. This is super tricky braking as we end up locking up the front right wheel. As we get back on the power all the way out, up into 7th gear before braking super early to avoid locking. Braked a little bit earlier than I probably could have. We open DRS, we go flying down the straight again, using maximum revs with this engine, braking hard at the 75-meter board, turning in, leaving in 4th gear, and getting back on the power as soon as we possibly can, bringing it out wide, using all the track, staying flat all the way out to the left before braking, kind of smooth the car in. So get back on the power. We're going to go all the way up into 8th gear as we're going to go for a hard brake right at the 100-meter board, using all the curb, chop off that inside curb and get on the power as soon as we possibly can so that we can open DRS, stay in a straight line and go across the line with a 1:28.6. Not a bad lap to start off. So that will get us through into qualifying 2, I believe, as we head over to qualifying 1. So we're going to be P6 currently with that lap ahead of our teammate who did a 1:30. As you guys can tell, that is not necessarily a great lap by our teammate, and hopefully he makes it through. So yeah, so Jeff is telling us what our fastest lap are. So I am actually using a custom setup for this track. In case you guys are curious, I am using a custom setup. I'm not exactly sure what I'm running, but I think I'm just running one of the esports track setups, so that gives you a little bit extra speed over a lap. As I guess we're gonna head out again, so I think we'll depart, but we're gonna head out really quickly again just to make sure we get through. Because we're only P10, guys. That's not really that good. P10 is not good enough. As we kind of mess up that braking point, we're going to head back over to the next lap. Alright. So we got a little bit more qualifying to do before we head over to the race or put up in a max mix. We got hot lap engaged. But we're end up not going to be looking at this lap because sadly I end up going through this lap all red sectors. It didn't end up improving. Bummer from that. As we hop into the next lap, we're going to be in qualifying 2 with 2 minutes left. We're going to be braking hard, like I said, at the 100-meter board. As this, I'm going to talk about track. So we're trying to swing it super wide, chop off that inside curb as much as you can, get the power down early. I could have carried a little bit more speed to kind of engage that, as you have to brake super hard and turn in as late as possible and get the maximum acceleration all the way out to the side of the track if you can. As this one is super tricky for me. I don't really know why. As I put it down in the 6th gear, try to get it rotated through. As we brake out super wide, did that corner much better as you kind of get the power down smoothly as possible. As you bring it out wide, brake early. I braked way too early. I screwed that up. Okay, yeah, that was not a good corner, but we get back on the power. As you guys can see, there's a lot of wheel spin coming out of there. The tires are starting to heat up. As you brake hard again, right at the 75-meter board, keep it in 4th and get back on the power super early. As you bring it all the way out, you're flat all the way through this corner, trying to take as much curb as you can without upsetting the car on the outside. As you bring it nicely over. Perfect so far. Now we're heading through the last turn. We're going to be braking, like I said, at the 100-meter board, so braking down all the way down to 3rd gear for a second, where we get back on the power as soon as we can, and then up the gears all the way up to 8th gear before we cross the line, and we're going to be at a 1:27.8. So a much better lap, which puts us P2. As we head over to qualifying 3, we made it through. Head over to qualifying 3. We're P10 currently. And we're taking a lot of inside curve. I'm not sure that was too great. And we head back out. All the way down the straight. Once again, we're braking hard. Right at that 60-meter board. But I end up braking a little bit too late. Brought it out wide. Ended up locking up. So, a little bit unlucky there. But other than that, we seem to be doing pretty well. Using a lot of the track here. And braking hard. You know, you guys have to really make sure that you're braking super smoothly for this track. It's not a super awesome track for me. I think it's really difficult, especially this corner right here. You really have to brake early, but I really like cut that off. I didn't go out as wide as I could have. But as you guys can see, I look behind me and Verstappen is right on my butt. And he is doing nothing other than holding himself up. So I don't know why he gave me more. He should have given me more space. So this is going to compromise his lap. 100%. So we end up going down into 4th gear. So we take it through. Back up the gears. All the way up to 8th gear before once again braking. See if we can take this turn with the most speed as we possibly can as we get a perfect exit. Look at that. So much more speed carried. This should be possibly a faster lap as we go for a 1:27.7 P6. That's going to put us position 6 for the race, which is pretty good for our team. Considering our teammate did get knocked out in qualifying 1. As you guys can see, we did 1:27.9. And we're moving on to our tire strategy. We're going soft, medium tires. Looking back on it now, I kind of regret what we selected. And that wasn't necessarily a great selection. I don't really think that it was done pretty well, but we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. As we have 5 red lights, they let go as we're getting a super slow start as there's a ton of wheel spin. But as we look down the inside, there's a ton of room and we absolutely send it down the inside of 4 or maybe 5 cars as we end up getting past Leclerc on the exit. We'll make a lot of contact with him, but it was pretty fair racing. And we're now up to P4. We gained 2 positions off of where we started on top of the other 2 that got past me. As we're trying to keep it around the corners, Bottas and Albon and Hamilton are already pulling away, as their cars are just much faster. As I had to put it in 4th, so we don't go super wide. So we're taking a lot of that inside curb. I kind of messed that corner up. It's a lot harder to drive on full fuel. So we take a nice wide line through here, much better, but we do end up locking up. And I left it in 3rd gear, which kind of ruined my exit. So you guys can see Leclerc is putting some pressure on me now. As I move over to the side, use a lot of overtake button to defend with. So bring it down to 4th gear once again. Accelerating as fast as you can. Keeping it flat through this corner. And then braking once again. And almost super perfect there. So as you guys can see, we are heading down. There we go. Yeah. Right. Alright, so we're heading back to Bottas now, as you guys can see. Currently lap 2. And there's really not that much going on. Basically slot in between is you go super window, you go super wide, it's compromised exit. Using a bunch of when we get very much engaged. And you see the clear diving down the inside. So you can come off, we go super wide. You end up getting past me. Faster for our which is super crazy as we pop over to a replay of what happened. As you guys can see, this replay the start really quickly. You can see us all the way down. We've lost 2 positions as you see us pull all the way over to the left side hand of the track as we go for a massive dive out all the way down the inside as we kind of get clipped by Leclerc as he kind of didn't give us the space, and then we kind of barge wheels over there. Over to the recent incident with Leclerc as we lock up through there is Leclerc gets right past and he ends up losing a little bit of front wing. So we head down here in our pit stops. we've done one pit stop. Right, this is our pit stop, sorry. And we're going in for the pits now. As you guys can see, we are on lap 7. We're going in for the medium tires. This pit stop number 1 is happening. Not much to commentate on other than we got to try to push and see if we can get gain some more positions and see where it takes us from there. So we move on to end up having to replay as Hamilton forces us widely off the track as we're in a battle with Ocon, who's also on the same tire strategy, who end up jumping us. So he was doing super well. He put in some massive laps to be able to jump us through the pits, and we see Hamilton behind us as we end up super revving the engine. I was confused that he had no pull off that last corner, and that he wouldn't overtake me. And he doesn't have blue flags, so we don't actually have to get out of the way. It's technically fighting for position, so obviously gonna let him through if I can, because there's no point. Because he's obviously much faster. He's just the fastest car on the grid. But we move on to lap 22. We see Verstappen all the way down in P16, and we're all the way down in P17. As we engage the overtake button, we got a little bit of overtake left. We got DRS enabled. And we pull out all the way to the right-hand side at the last second to go absolutely send it down Norris and Verstappen, which will get us, and we get a huge tank of overtake, a little bit too much of the inside curb, and they end up like touching each other or something, because they're already 7, 8 tenths down. Let's move on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Nothing else has happened. We're on the back of Gasly, who's on the opposite strategy. It's P12, and the points aren't even near us. His points are P10, and Valtteri Bottas ends up winning the race. So there's not really much that I can do. I've been trying to put in as many laps as I can. As you guys can see, we're actually green in the last lap here. And there's just nothing more I can do. I don't have any more pace in this car. It doesn't seem to do well on these two-stop strategies. So next race we're gonna have to go for only medium and hard compounds, I guess, would be the only way to go, as we go super wide. But we don't go super wide, okay? Nobody saw that. That did not happen. I just want to make a note, mention if you guys are still watching, thank you very much. I know this video is kind of out of nowhere. I've been posting for a while, probably. But I hope that you guys do enjoy it. And yeah, I'll be back soon. Post some more content, probably post some Wiz content. But yeah, so thank you guys for sticking through. Like I said, on the back of Gasly, and almost could have gotten, but we got a little bit of oversteer the last corner as we're going, he's pulling off, he goes defensive, but we end up outbraking him on the better compound of tires. As you guys still see, Ocon is end up still ahead of him, but Ocon's not even in the points. We're going to the line. We're making P12 in this Grand Prix, which is not a great result. So we head back to the results. As you guys can see, we're at P7 in the constructor standings now, and in constructors we're at P5. So we advance through. We go to our interview questions. Yeah, I was going to say, yep, definitely. Well, I am my own team, so I was definitely supportive of the team. Yeah, I don't really know shit about cleanest race. There was a lot of contact. I think it was just the other drivers that were just, I don't know what happened with them. So we move on. We end up going back to the department places. So you guys can see we got more claim, but it seems that unfortunately we don't have enough R&D after this race to upgrade a part. So on that note, I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you smash the like button down below. I'll see you guys next time, and peace. Make sure you guys stay safe, and play other games. Enjoy the time off, I guess, if you guys still have time off, and